to meet you. So welcome, everyone. I'm Jeannie Ralston from Next Tribe, and I'm so happy to be here with Vanessa Harker and Deborah Cooper. And these are two in the know, savvy, fun South Africans who have put together just something that I don't think anybody could ever do on their own. I mean, there's
Well,
just
we
no
do
way.
it every day, but still, it's great.
Yeah, you do, but I mean, people coming in fresh, right? Because they know people there. This is where they're born and raised, and we're going to benefit from their great experience on this trip. So give me a minute. I'm going to share. We made a nice, all kinds of great pictures. You just can't look at all my mess here. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, now I got ahead of myself. How, hold on a second. I should have checked this. Okay. Escape. Sorry. I'm really good in this, but
there we go.
I was practicing.
Oh, that's Delhi. I was there on the weekend. I went to Delhi for lunch. Oh my goodness.
Okay, there we go. There we go. We are
me.
okay.
Are you full screen? Because I saw you. Oh, never mind.
Now I am. Can you see it all?
I've got you.
So here you see Vanessa and Deborah, and that is Table Mountain in the back, right?
No, that's Shook. That's the wine farms.
Oh, yeah, that's in the wine farm. Okay, but
the Simonsberg Mountains, yeah.
Yes, gorgeous. I'll know this after I go traveling with you.
The picture on the left is Lion's Head, which is just alongside, that's it, with the lymphatic clouds. And that's right alongside Table Mountain.
Oh, and that's the beach we would be staying on when you first
came.
Okay, so this is at the bottom of Africa. I just read a book called The Wide Sea about Captain Hook, and it had all kinds of stories about Cape Town from that time. So it's a very storied area, very important in navigation and history, and so let me tell you about Deborah. We call her the Lex Experience Maker. She has a background as executive at 5-star hotels. She's the ultimate host curating. She's the best at host curating extraordinary experiencing, anticipating every need, ensuring every detail is perfect for a seamless blend of adventure and relaxation. And Vanessa has been living between the U.S. and Africa for years now, but feels the pulse of Africa the moment her feet hit home ground. Some of you already know her because she's traveled with us quite a few times, and if not, it is time. So she's the one who's both of them are going to share these hidden treasures, and we're just so lucky because they're fun. So I'm going to let them talk through the photos we've put together, kind of following the itinerary, more or less. But so I'm handing it over to Deborah and Vanessa.
Okay.
So, cold water, but glorious coastlines, and you have a very, very varying terrain. So you could have those kranzes, we call them kranzes, those vertical cliffs. You could have slightly beige colored beaches like that, or you could have absolutely sugar white with palm trees, like in Camps Bay, where you guys will be staying. You'll be staying literally 1 minute walk from Camps Bay, probably 28 seconds, but let's call it 1 minute. And that's okay, there we go. That's a stretch of the Atlantic seaboard. So we're on the Atlantic, and the Atlantic is cold. And you've got a bit of cloud over there, so that's probably this time of the year, April. We've still got the lovely sunny skies. Temperature drops a little bit. You could have days that are sort of 21, 22 degrees rather than 26, 30 degrees. So it's actually very pleasant.
So you listening, those that don't know, that would be some days in the 70s, some in the 80s.
Yeah. And I've just been documenting the weather for the last 10 days, because these literally would be the dates of the trip in Cape Town for next year. And there've been 2 days where we've had a little bit of overcast skies. They've burnt off later, but we have had overcast skies. And on those 2 days, we had quite a bit of wind. But other than that, we've had beautiful, bright, streaming sunshine, very comfortable temperatures and low winds. It's the luck of the draw, but yeah, let's hold thumbs for next year. Oh, Winelands. Hey, that's Deborah. So that picture of me on the right-hand side, just so that we know, that's not Cape Town. That's me at Hotel Eden Rock in the south of France on the Riviera. It's just one picture that I had that I wasn't wearing sunglasses. So it's bright over here in Cape Town. We have a lot of sunny skies. So yeah, that's a picture from the
Tell
south.
us about the plan for the wine, which I think is just fascinating.
Oh, okay. So I had an idea, because we've got quite diverse terroir, and because you're here for 10 days, we have about 10 major wine regions. So I thought we could feature a different wine region for each day. And then when we have our lunch or back at the villa, we will feature some of those wines. And either I or one of my sommelier friends, which I know every single restaurant, every single market, I know all of them, they would talk you through the typical characteristics of those wines. So you will get to know the South African wines. And our wines are good. Our wines are good. They're very well priced. We do have some really iconic wines that can compete with some of the best international wines. I have drank really, really great French wines, and I've drank really good Italian wines, and I don't think we can say that we are as good as those old world wines, but we have got really, really great wines over here. I would say up in the 80% category of the caliber of those wines. And I have got my two favorite terroirs, but we will touch on those, but we will touch on all of those. And then I wanted a mystery one, because I'm going to test you guys to see your palates and how well you're picking up on all the different characteristics that I'll be pointing out in the terroir.
Okay, so also South Africa, Cape Town right now is the food capital of the world. And
Oh, yeah.
we introduced the whole food wine part of it because we're like, if you're going to Cape Town, that is such a huge part of what Cape Town is right now. And it changes from year to year which city around the world is that city. Well, right now it's Cape Town. So how can you come to Cape Town and not be exposed to that part of it? And there's some people who don't drink, but for the most part, you can drink as much as you want, but the food and wine is spectacular. It's off the charts.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, then where we'll stay in Cape Town, the first place would be in Camps Bay, right on the beach. And across the road from the hotel is a tidal pool where women swim every morning in this ice cold water. They all look so beautiful, doesn't matter what age they are, from this cold water being so invigorating. This hotel is owned by a very close friend of mine, and he has stepped up and made it available for us where we can actually afford it. And he will make it special for us. So we're excited that he has come through.
He's such a sweetie, and he just adores you, Vanessa. He's going to go all out.
Gorgeous and single ladies, just saying.
oh. Well, and one question about the tidal pools, and we'll talk about that a little bit, but are they a little warmer than the ocean itself?
They are 1 degree warmer, but it makes a difference. It makes a difference. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I just love the picture of this beach here. It's just
gorgeous.
Okay, so this is from across the bay from where we will be staying.
That's where Vanessa's mum lives, on that side.
My mother lives right.
Yeah, she's got that view.
And there's seagulls and there's kite surfers. And yes, we will be staying this side, which is right on the side of the mountain. As you can see along there, that's called the 12 Apostles. Yeah. That's part of the mountain range. And when the sun goes down at night, it turns pink. We will be staying right on the side of the 12 Apostles, which is beautiful.
Wow. Fabulous.
The cable car.
Yeah, there you go. You can't go to Cape Town without going up Table Mountain.
Yeah, got to go.
It's like, unfortunately, it is a bit like going up the Eiffel Tower or going to the Golden Gate Bridge, but you just have to do it. You also get the lay of the land. As you can see in the distance, that is Robben Island, that little dot in the middle of the ocean, which is our Alcatraz. And that is Lion's Head, the mountain in front of us. It's just the angle of the view. but Table Mountain, and once you're up there, there's animals to be seen, and the views are just spectacular.
And glorious flora as well. Our Cape Fynbos Kingdom has, you know, something like 56,000 species or something, and we will see a lot of them. I know a lot of them, but not that many. Not even 1,000. Maybe a couple of maybe 60. And also just with that Table Mountain picture, Vanessa and I have decided we'd make that on the very first day. When you wake up, it's a little bit of an early start for the very first day, but we need to get Table Mountain in there. We're on a peninsula, so the weather and that cable car, if there's any hesitation, they are so safety focused that they will not even consider sending that cable car up if there's going to be high winds or if there could be low visibility. So we've made that the very first morning, and that way, if that happens to be an overcast morning, we've got our plan B. We'll shuffle days around, and we will do that every single day until you get up Table Mountain.
And talk about Group Constantia. Am I saying that right?
Correct.
Yeah, you are. Correct. Yeah.
Which means big. Which
Huh?
means big. It's big in Dutch.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's a famous winery, right?
It's the oldest wine estate. It's the oldest wine estate in the country, and it is a heritage site. The picture that you have in front of you is a typical Cape Dutch homestead, and that's my picture just because that happened to be the 5-star Redland Chateau Hotel that I managed. And then Groot Constantia, I know, I was there for about 10 years. And
my mistake.
yeah, and I'm very happy to be on. But Jeannie, it's a Cape Dutch homestead, and Groot Constantia is about a 10-minute drive from there. So you're
But
okay.
it looks the same, doesn't it?
They do. That's the Cape
Because
Dutch
of the
baby.
architecture, not the
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. That's I
Yeah.
did the pictures, guys. So if there was my
And
mix
I have a special story about Gables, but I'll keep that for the day that when we're there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Robben Island and the Boerkaap. So that's Bokaap, Kaap as in the Afrikaans or Dutch word for Cape is Kaap, and Boer is high. And that's the little village. I don't know if any of you have been to Parachi in Brazil, south of Rio. There's that little fishing village that has all the different colored houses or painted different colors. This is a very poignant story behind this particular suburb, because they were in South Africa in the height of the apartheid era, the only demographic who were allowed to own their own property that their house was on. And you will be walking around that. It's very, very photogenic. And Vanessa's arranged that somebody will open their home to us up there in the Boerkaap and will make a typical Cape Malay dinner for us. And it's a storytelling dinner. So while they're preparing things, they will be telling you a story about growing up in that neighborhood, growing up in South Africa as not everybody's reference point, not mine, with my particular racial demographic. My story is different to theirs, and it's there are going to be a lot of stories, Jeannie. And the Robben Island story, you need to take your tissues with you. It's heavy going, but there's always, every day, I say this in Cape Town or in South Africa, there is always the hope. The hope is unsuppressible in this country. No matter what they throw at us, you know what the world's like at this particular moment. You will walk into a coffee shop in Cape Town, and no matter who is behind that barista bar, who is sitting next to you, somebody will have a feel-good story, and they will be positive. We just focus on that. And so, yeah, but it will be very moving, that trip to Robben Island.
Definitely not to be missed, but yeah.
Yeah,
and
you'll get it
from there. You get such great views back because you'll be on a ferry.
On the ferry, on the way back. Yeah.
And of course, South Africa is called the Rainbow Nation, and that's not for no reason.
Yeah.
It is a melting pot of people. Cape Town is very diverse in terms of just religion. I happened to be there on October 7th when the whole Israeli and Palestinian started. And it was quite incredible how South Africa stepped up, because there's a third Muslim, third Jewish, and third Christian people in Cape Town. And everybody ganged together and prevented there being any problems associated with any of that. It was quite incredible to be there that day. And I was
Yeah.
very proud to be South African because I grew up not being proud to be South African.
Well, and no, I know, and we can talk about that. And I think that you mentioned to me before that we need to obviously acknowledge the past, and that's why we're going to Robben Island. I mean, it's a
Right.
kind of getting
Absolutely.
a picture of
Yeah.
and how far you've come. That's important,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
You know, history makes us what we are. So yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So then
Ah,
a day of
Deborah,
hiking.
Vanessa hiking at Cape Point.
Okay, so we're not going to be swimming in this specific tidal pool. However, we're going to be swimming in tidal pools around the coast. It is fabulous. And some of we've got a few surprises in place. And so get prepared for one day of a little bit of water aerobics in a tidal pool. And it's just spectacular. The views from there. So around Cape Town, there are 13 tidal pools that are built. And I was reading that actually a lot of them were built because so few people knew how to swim. They didn't want them getting washed out to sea. So they
Oh,
built.
they're man-made tidal pools.
Yes.
They will put a wall at the back, or
That
they
would
will
be a pool, but
they will wall a certain section just to dam the water, so that you have it constantly flushed by waves smashing over the back wall at in the high tides, but you've got clean water and it's safe to swim. There's no current inside that pool. And the depth is you can wade in. It's not a deep pool beyond where you could stand, so you can wade in, and if you're comfortable being up to your knees or your thighs, that's great. If you wanted to strike out and get your training in with your laps, you'd be able to do that in those pools as well.
Wow, cool. And we're hiking you said the 12 Apostles. Is that the hike?
Yeah, we're gonna hike along the foothills of the 12 Apostles with the whole of the Atlantic seaboard, Camps Bay, and then the Llandudno beaches will be on our right-hand side, as we on our eastern side, as we are hiking. And you can almost touch the mountains up on your left, and we will probably keep that to about an hour. So even if there's somebody who's not a particularly strong hiker, it's a very comfortable path, but it is spectacular. And I chose that hike. I mean, there's so many hikes all over Cape Town. It's very accessible from where we're going to be staying, and you can really, really enjoy spectacular mountain and coastal views. You've got mixed vegetation. And it's one of those places when you get to the beautiful rocks, you can stop and just sit in the view. That's when you take off your shoes and you do your grounding thing, whether you like the grounding thing or not. You are going to start feeling very, very close to nature in Cape Town. It's a strong awareness for us. We always aware of the phases of the moon. We're aware of the tides, and we like that. We love being out in nature. So you're going to get that a lot over here.
Good. And then we go to do a whole different experience.
Mount Nelson for the rich and shameless.
yeah, iconic. The high tea is iconic. So we're going to take you for a high tea at the Mount Nelson. It's very much part of our British heritage. It's this beautiful old pink hotel that is just glorious.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It's
You'll recognize a couple of movie stars there, but everybody is very discreet. It's the grand old game of Cape Town.
Vanessa's checked out, but she told me that she wanted to go to the Nelly. So
it's the best afternoon tea in the world.
Oh, you are there.
I am here.
All right. So yes, you'll have a beautiful afternoon tea where we can all wear a little dress and feel like
gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay, onto the waterfront and the markets. There are so many markets and food places. There's one of my favorite places in the world is a market that we're going to be taking you to, and we cannot feed you there because there are so many things to choose from that you're going to feed yourself, because it's impossible for us to keep up with what every single person would want. It is literally every single person I take to Cape Town will say this was a highlight of the trip.
Yeah,
so, we will be taking you to this fabulous market that we can't explain. You have to get
it's
there.
It's also very female forward. The lady who runs that market is Cheryl Lazinski. Cheryl is a friend of mine who was formerly the head of Cape Town Tourism. and she loves to support women, and a lot of the stall holders there, a lot of the chefs there are women. And I thought that what I might do is ask Cheryl to just do a Q&A with you all, for even if it's just for 10 minutes. And you can ask her all kinds of questions that you may have answered at that point, just about South Africa, about Cape Town, about the place of women in entrepreneurship, and in just she's super, and she would probably arrange for some of those ladies to come and either chat to you personally, or when you get to their stands, they could tell you about that specific produce. There's a as Vanessa said, there's a lot of Cape food there, a lot of South African food, but there's every other demographic is represented there as well. And so, yeah, we could.
And it's under a big marquee with the sea to the one side.
Yeah.
It's spectacular.
And the stadium behind it.
The picture on the right here is inside. There's the waterfront, which we will take you to the waterfront as well. The waterfront is the biggest tourist attraction in Africa. It's a shopping mall. Why do people want to go to a shopping mall? But there's music and food and things to see and birds and people, and yeah, it's quite interesting that a shopping mall is more visited
right
than
on the water's
pyramid.
edge. It's actually right on the harbor, so the location is fabulous. So you step out from any one of the restaurants, or you sit in one of the restaurants, or step out of a shop, and you've either got tugboats plying out to bring in a big ship, or you've got seagulls, right alongside a seafood restaurant, that kind of thing. It's a super location.
And don't you have seals? Don't we?
We do. We
Yeah.
have the Cape Fur seal, the Cape Fur seals. And Vanessa and I like it. We just laugh because they remind us of people we know. These seals have got such personalities, and they're the round ones and the big ones and the foul ones and we know a couple of people have fallen into that demographic. So yeah, we can go and watch the seals. They're such social creatures. You can see them having conversations with each other and training the young imprint on the older seals, and you can see them finding their voices. You can hear one with a little squeaky voice that's almost breaking, and then a big one who's got a deep bellowing voice, and they have these conversations. It's right there.
And tell us about
Aloes, that's Kirstenbosch Gardens. So Jeannie, I sent you one of my images was when Yo-Yo Ma, part of his Bach's cello suites tour, world tour, he performed those cello suites. It was quite a marathon, but he performed those cello suites right where we'll be sitting. And sometimes, depending on whether there may not be a concert, but we would either arrange something fabulous that evening, or I know a lot of musicians, we could do something. Hopefully there will be a concert at the time that we're there, because whether it's somebody you like or not, it's just being out there. We arrange a big picnic, you throw down your picnic rod. It's like Tanglewood, or if any of you have been to Glyndebourne in the UK, it's spectacular. And you've got those mountains there. You've got you could walk easily for 2 hours. You can hike within Kirstenbosch and not have seen everything.
So here's the thing, when you tell people visiting somewhere in the world, go to the Botanical Gardens, and you're like, yeah, right. Okay, thank you. I've got other things to do. This is across the entire side of a mountain. It is spectacular. It is so spiritual. It's like going to Yosemite. It's a place that I convince all my friends, you have to visit this place because of what it does to you. And it's really magnificent. It's not going to your Austin Botanical Gardens at all. This is something really special.
Yeah. There's a river that runs through it. There are sculptures set out within the gardens, and it's you can't miss it.
fabulous. Okay, I'm pretty excited about this.
Okay, this is one of the iconic drives in the world. And if you've ever, gone on a road trip and they say this is the one not to miss, the Telluride to Durango, whatever it might be, this is one of the most iconic in the world. And we're going to be doing it in a sidecar around the mountain. So get ready, ladies. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's 2 people on a bike. One sits behind and one in the sidecar, and halfway we'll swap over. And so anyway, we're going to get some women drivers to take us around the coast in their sidecars. And the views, let's just leave it to do the
like Highway 1, Big Sur, Ventana Wilderness, Esselen. It's like that kind of a highway. Well, it's a highway, but it's really single lane either way.
Wow. That's going to be fun. And so we're going to be going on this drive, we end up going from the Cape Town proper to.
That's right. We're going to leave Camps Bay and we're going to head around the mountain down to Cape Point, which is, it's a ways away. So I know people think, oh, well, we're just going to go to Cape Town, but it's so diverse and it's so big. We'll head down to Cape Point. I was just there last month, and there is about 200 dolphins in a family that live just below the restaurant and whatever that's at Cape Point. And we sat there with friends, and let me tell you, I will be taking binoculars next time, because the goings on down there were quite something. Whether they were eating, fishing, it was non-stop, and it was just incredible. So they said they're there all the time. We'll be moving down to stay at another part of the Cape. We're going to go down to a place called Boulders Beach. It's spectacular. It looks like the baths in Virgin Gorda.
Yeah.
Similar. I think it's actually prettier. And this is where the penguins live. And the place we're going to be staying, these are some of the options. We have another place that we like even better. We're waiting for them to come back, but you will go onto a beach and swim with the penguins. There is another beach where you can go and see the penguins in mass, and it's more of a touristy kind of thing. Well, the beach next door is the local one where you can swim with the penguins. We'll be taking you to both.
Oh my God. That's so, and then horses. That's an option.
We're going to stay there. We're going to stay there for an extra day. By this point, we're trying to get in some time where people can actually have some downtime, because the trip I've been on with Next Tribe, we've talked about how we're busy all day, every day. So in Cape Town, we're going to spend some time where we can go to the beach and just eat and have fun and laugh. And then there's one of the days when we're out here, there's an optional horse riding on the beach. It is a very long beach with white sand and aqua water, and it's a long way. So people that are really great horse riders can literally gallop for hours. Anyone who wants to walk, they could have a separate trip. Those that are not into horses, they can go down into the little villages and go shopping around. There's all these little coastal villages along the coast with little crafty stores, and the horse riders can do both. But there is the option of horse riding here for Jeannie. I know how much you like to horse ride, so it would be a great option for you. Then we head to the Winelands. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the Simonsberg that we're looking at over there. Hello, Catherine Wood.
Hi.
How are you, darling?
Good.
So we will be staying at a very historic vineyard that has chef's gardens. They've got two really great restaurants. They have chef's gardens. They've got a deli where it's not unusual for chickens to come and lay eggs just at your feet while you're sitting having your breakfast. And they have an old manor house. So great wine tasting under a big old oak, a grove of oak trees. And the accommodation is set within the vineyards, and it's very green, very lush. And that is where we will take a wine tram. So there is an old-fashioned tram that goes with that runs in the vineyards, and to an estate that's one of Vanessa's favorites called Babylon's Turin. And Babylon's Turin is owned by one of the former Miss South Africa's. She's a ex-media, had her own magazine, Karen Roos, and she has got the most spectacular gardens. There's a bakery, a delicatessen. You would do charcuterie and cheese tastings, walk around the gardens with a gardener. Was hysterical the last time that I was there. The gardener who took us around was an elderly lady who was completely toothless and such a character. She was crowing away. And it was so fascinating, telling us about the different seasons and how they farm with rather than against nature. And it's a special place. So, and plenty of stops for different wine tasting. That's where we go past the lavender fields at Grand Provence and into the little town. Oh, that's
Look,
Del
there's
Air.
the lavender fields there in the
Yeah,
farm.
they're the lavender fields. That's at Babylon's Turin, those lavender fields. And then the vineyard in the center it could just be any particular vineyard. That's one of the vineyards in Franschhoek, which is where the wine trams are going to go. They may go to that vineyard if there's time. It tends to be that people enjoy the wine tastings and then sort of keep the tram waiting and so on. So we may not actually get to that quite far. It's fun. And in South Africa, people want you to have fun. They're lighthearted, they're playful, they're funny. They've got such a sense of humor. All the guys who or the ladies who would take you on these trips or who would be hosting you. And so, yeah, they want you to be relaxed.
Is that you, Deb, in that picture with the pretty dress on?
So I'm not the one who's crouching on the left is me on the right. That's me. Yeah, that's me.
Yes, so beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, yeah.
I got this out of place, but I love this. It's like art in the countryside,
There's
right?
so much art around South Africa. Art is a big part of our culture.
This is that particular picture there. That's Del Air Graph, where we absolutely have to stop, even if we don't have the lunch there. We just have to stop. I'm arranging something. One of my former food and beverage managers is now the general manager of Del Air Graph. Del Air Graph is the premium property in South Africa, and that is one of the Dylan Lewis sculptures. And there's an optional add-on for those who aren't going to be taking the safari. I would be very happy to drive everybody to Dylan Lewis, and we can go around, take a walk around the sculpture garden. But yeah, these massive sculptures of cats, of the big five, the wild animals, cheetahs in chase, that kind of thing. But that Del Air Graph has a superb collection of art. I'm mad about art. And one of my new friends whom I made at Seidsmokke, which is the gallery that we're going to be taking to, where Koya has just been appointed the artistic director for the Venice Biennale. So that is a lady from my neighboring art gallery who's going to be curating the whole Venice Biennale for next year. Yeah.
Are we going to meet? We're going to meet her, right?
From Cape Town. So yeah.
Yep.
And we've got lecture, we've got women for you to meet. We've got we've got all of these things. We're going to take you down for the most spectacular cocktail on the rocks, watching the sunset. And we're going to, I mean, there's just so many things. There's this art gallery that was built out of there used to be the old grain silos on the wharf, and now it's the spectacular International Art Gallery. There's just so many special things we're going to be taking you to, having friends step up and make it that extra special for us.
Yes, and we love to meet local women and who are doing interesting things. So that's great. Thanks.
Yeah, one of my friends whom I actually made at the gallery was in the vineyards 2 years ago, harvesting and bottling her very first vintage of MCC, which is Method Cap Classique, what we call, we can't call it champagne because we're, from the Cape region. So she looks like Beyonce. She's completely fabulous. And what's also quite interesting is that she is Christian. She is married to a Muslim man. They live in Cape Town. She is a winemaker. And she is married to a man who does not touch alcohol. She goes to church. I took her to Fauré's Requiem out in a very beautiful cathedral in the Winelands in Paarl. I took her to see to hear my friend of mine sings with the Cape Town Philharmonic Choir. And the two of us went. So she was going to a cathedral with me, and we stopped and had lunch at one of these fabulous vineyard restaurants. And her husband at home is Muslim, and we sent him photographs of us there having a good time. That is Cape Town. Yeah. Everybody, it's a melting pot. And when you look at the news, just disregard what you see and look at these beautiful stories. These are friends. These are people who we spend time with on a daily basis. They are our voice.
Is there anything to say about the Rupert Museum?
Oh, yeah. So the Rupert Museum, very important South African family. Huberta Rupert, who is the Anton Rupert's wife, has her own private collection, which she made available in the Rupert Museum. And Irma Stern, who is the most eminent of the South African artists, she's from late 1880s to mid 90s. She has got Huberta Rupert has got a collection of Irma Stern's second to none. These are portraits. They fall into portrait and into landscape category, and I beg your pardon, into still lifes. So we will be walking around the most important of the South African artists. We're going to be walking around her work, and I know those works very well. And then Maggie Laubser is a second one. There will be work by Maud Sumner. These are all the South African great female artists. So yeah, we will be standing in front of these works. You can name your own price if you auction one of them. They are fabulous.
That good. And we already talked, I got them out of order, so I apologize. But then we talk about the farms and
Oh yeah,
the
farms.
bride. You call it bride?
A bride, you said it
pretty
right. So that's a
dish.
barbecue in South Africa. Now,
Yeah.
the way we throw a barbecue, we turn it on. Kathy's my Aussie friend. Of course, they do it too. But a bride to us is not hamburgers and hot dogs. I mean, we're talking lamb chops and we go all out. So
Fish
we will
marinade.
definitely be having a braai one night. We will make sure you get all of what we grew up with, from garlic bread to potato salad, but it'll be the best of what we have in South Africa in terms of what we call our braai.
And if you're a vegetarian, you will not be shortchanged. We do delicious vegetables on the braai as well. So, yeah.
Okay, let's see. So right now after the Capeland wine country, we'll have the option either to finish your trip, or once we get enough people signed up, we'll arrange if you want, we'll arrange a safari to Kruger National Park, and the cost it's around 2,500 to 3,000 for the airfare and everything included for 3 nights, 4 days in Kruger, which is of course one of the most famous national safari locations and national parks in Africa. So you can see the big five there. If I remember.
Yeah, you've got the best of South Africa right there, Jeannie. With choosing Cape Town, with choosing the Kruger, you've got the highlights of South Africa right there.
So the Kruger Park, just so you know, it's so big that it's bigger than the whole country of Israel.
Wow, I did not know that. So I just wanted to end with some beautiful photos of that's to me. I just love that photo there.
Thank you.
That's
Delegraph again.
Oh, that's Delegraph. Okay.
Yeah, that's a Botmas Kop, that peak on the right-hand side, which gives a very particular terroir for the they make just on that slope. They've got such diverse wines just within that one estate. Yeah,
we're big on our gardens, as you can tell.
Yeah,
the English country garden is a big deal for us.
Oh, that's just below the house where we'll be, or the hotel that we'll be staying.
Yeah, I love that picture. So,
it's west facing then, because I see the sunset.
West facing from the Atlantic.
Oh, wow. So we'll be facing west for the first part of the trip. Then we will be moving and facing east when we're at the Penguins.
Sunrises.
And then we will move to wine farms and be facing pretty much south, actually.
Does anybody have questions for our beautiful Vanessa and Deborah?
I do. How many people do you want on this trip? Because I'm getting ready to just, apart from your marketing for this trip, I'm getting ready to just like shout it from the rooftops.
I want to around. I think we said 12 to 14, or 14 obviously.
Yeah, 14 plus us, 13 plus the 3 of us. But I say whatever comes together, we can figure it out. Whether it's less or more, it's for us.
Right.
So
okay,
but I think 12 to 13 would be Optimal.
maximum of 13, just in order of logistics. Okay.
Yeah.
That
All
would
right.
be that's
I've got 2 that have, well, 3 that have expressed interest.
Well, we'll send it. We're gonna make the copy of this recording available to anybody so you can share it,
Right.
because I knew you would. You guys give so much more detail than I could ever put into just the writing, the
yeah.
write-up.
Your
pictures.
copy was great.
Well, but still, just going to meet women, the artists and the gallery
Yeah.
owners, and all of that. I just love. So
I think the part that is hardest to get across for me is that it's the sights and the sounds and the smells. It smells like Africa and it sounds like Africa. There's music and the sea and the smell and the taste and the sunsets. There's
It
every
it is
couple of
very
weeks there's
seductive.
such an
It's
epic
sensual,
sunset.
it's seductive. Yeah.
And it's that part of Africa that's hard to get across, that touch and taste and smell that for me, I arrive and I just love it, and you can't explain that. That's the part of travel that captures your soul.
beautiful, beautiful. And any other questions, Donna?
Yeah, question about attire. I mean, what do you recommend? You said something about a tea and maybe getting dressed up. Are there any other,
Okay.
dress up that we have to
let
bring?
me
Is
tell you
everything
about-
there pretty casual?
So Cape Town is actually an interesting place. We're a little different from some of the places we go. But when we went to Italy, people dressed up to go to a restaurant at night. In Cape Town, we'd wear a nice dress and sandals. I say you take 3 pairs of shoes to Cape Town, a pair of sneakers to walk in, a pair of flip-flops for the beach, and a pair of casually but sweet sandals that you can wear to restaurants.
Yes.
It is not workout gear to a restaurant. It is
Yeah.
not hiking gear to a restaurant. The restaurants we're taking you to, which mostly are included, are fabulous. So yes,
Yeah.
you need to bring a couple of dresses. You can wear them alternate nights, it's not going to Africa, I'm going hiking. I'm going on the Rwanda trip in a few weeks. That's going to be completely different. So we dress for dinner in a nice way. And by that, I mean a cute
Not
dress with a
stuff-
pair of little sandals.
Yeah.
You're not bringing you don't need your stilettos. You don't need
No.
that. But it is more cosmopolitan than people realize.
I can put together a little bit of a wardrobe or packing suggestion, if you like. And at this time of the year, with it being autumn, you're going to need a puffer jacket or just something light, a windbreaker, something that you can put over your pretty dress if you're going out, a nice shawl or pashmina that can just keep you warm if the temperature drops.
Yeah.
As you know, it's on the tip of Africa. When the sun goes down, that ocean is cold. So think San Diego. When the sun goes down, you put on a cardigan, right? That's the kind of place it is. And yeah, you're not wearing hiking boots at all, for that matter. You don't need any. Yeah.
Okay.
You need
To
a
go
suit.
safari.
But walking shoes would be great. And
Even
on the
then
day
you
that we do the trail along 12 Apostles, you could even wear your little slip-flops, your little beach flip-flops. But I would say if you have your walking shoes, you'd be good there.
Yeah.
You
So
don't need the
here's-
high boots. So it's another reason why I thought, let me not do a trail. You don't really know the fitness level of everybody on the trip, but as well, you don't really want to have to pack a pair of hiking boots or really proper hiking shoes, because you may not have that kind of space in your luggage. And you're
And
going to take
We're
one.
not going to have you climb the mountain. We're going to go up the cable car.
Yeah.
It's quite a
Yeah.
trek. It's 1 mile up, 1 kilometer up. And let me tell you, it kicks your butt. So we're not doing that.
I'm happy.
We're not going to.
Okay, if any Vanessa, have you been before?
Yeah, I went in 10 years ago.
But you
I'd
want to go
been-
back? You want to go back?
Yeah, I was only there I was there for 2 weeks, but it was, I was just by myself. So I think this is a whole different experience. I did go to some of the wineries, which, I love my wine. This sounds incredible.
Vanessa, the other thing is that the thing that strikes me the most is I go back every year, sometimes 2-3 times a year, right? And how quickly there's been such change there, that in 10 years, you'd be quite blown away by the positiveness of the changes, as well as the progress. You would be, and
Caliber of dining, caliber of wine.
from art to what is just going on there, the architecture's always been off the charts there. Compared to Austin, it makes us look silly. There's the old, the new, and it's progressive. There's so many things to see. And also, as a tourist by yourself, which I've traveled the world a lot by myself, it's a little bit different when somebody's taking you to places that I probably wouldn't have gone on my own. So we'll make sure you have a fabulous time.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, and just one question I have about what's the length of the flight normal? I mean, I know there's plenty of ways to get there, but
well, from the US, two easiest ways for me from Austin specifically, but is I fly either to DC straight to Cape Town on United, or Delta through Atlanta on United, or through Newark on Delta's on Delta through Atlanta, or United goes Newark, Cape Town, or DC, Cape Town, and they're the most direct. It's the easiest, the least expensive. If you go through Europe, unfortunately, on the way back is a piece of cake, but on the way there, you'll have a 12-hour layover in most places, and it's a killer. So I would say on United Direct or on Delta Direct are the best ones, straight into Cape Town. And all of those then can come out of Johannesburg if you should go on safari as well.
Yeah, if we do the safari, we will be flying, our return flight will be out of Johannesburg.
Yeah.
But that has even more connections than Cape Town, from what I understand.
It does have more connections, yeah.
But
It's
you're
because
going in.
It's because if you get to Joburg, you want to leave it and come to Cape Town.
And the safari is an optional add-on, right?
Yes, and I was saying that I was starting to put it together, but we need to have a critical mass of people before I can actually do that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to got people's names here, all the names, and oops, wait, dropped one. Can't do that.
You did.
Yes. Okay, look. Let's see what I've got. I've got Vanessa Sinclair, $400 off Vanessa.
Woohoo!
Okay, I'm signing up.
There you go.
And that's if you sign up in the next week. And you and Donna, you and Catherine, I'll give you $200 off if you sign up in the next week. So just
Wow. Everybody wins.
Jeannie, have you got the layout? You probably have, and I'm sorry, I'm the worst. The layout of like the deposit, and then if you wanted to pay monthly, or
yes,
yeah, okay.
yes. So is Marcy still on here? Marcy?
Yeah, hi.
Marcy will help you. One thing we've started to do for some of our bigger trips, and if you want, we can, we've got 10 months. So it would be, I mean, I'm just making this up, maybe 600 a month. Is it 10 months? Anyway, if you want, we can even extend it a little past the date. So your payments per month will be lower, if that makes a difference. And I want to just remind everyone, these are interest-free payments. So, we just want to make these trips accessible and easy. So just know that.
Right now,
on this specific trip, we've included so much that your cost there is pretty much, if you're going to buy gifts and stuff and a few lunches, which let me tell you, I've just taken friends to Cape Town last month, 8 of them, and I've never seen people eat like it. And I was like, wow.
Neither have I.
They packed in, I tell you, all they want to do is eat, because first of all, they love the food. But the cost of the food, we're taking you to the places where we're taking you, we're covering the over-the-top places. But the places where we're taking you for lunch are not that expensive. So
they fall into the cheap and fearful category.
it's not going to be a huge expense on top of what the trip is. It's pretty much everything you can possibly want. And we haven't included cocktails, but we have included wine for the most part for everything. And obviously it'll be the wine that we're telling you about on that specific day. But we'll have a few things in the fridge for those that don't like any of those, which we're going to give you such good wine. We don't think that's going to be a problem. So
I drink anything, so it doesn't
surprises.
matter.
We've got a few surprises in store. We've got some treats and surprises in store, so we're good. Donna, do you drink wine?
Oh yeah, I
Alright,
like
very good.
anything. I'll try anything.
There you go.
We like that attitude.
And we have some interesting non-alcoholic drinks in South Africa that these things that I just took there. It's too specific,
Botanicals.
but they've got an appetizer, number one.
Grape
We have
tizer.
the sparkling apple juice that is
It's
the only
delicious.
place in the world. And let me tell you, once people start on it, it's all over. And apple juice is pretty sweet, but they love it.
Oh no,
don't
I'm going to
specifically
now
have
want that.
You
I'm
are
now
gonna
going to get addicted to
And
the
we have
apple
grape
juice
tizer,
because I'm
which is a
addicted
grape
to
tizer.
salt.
Sparkling grape tizer. So we've got some things that are just different. In South Africa, as a person and all my friends and family, I don't know anyone who drinks regular American sodas like Cokes or things like that because we have
Yeah.
other options.
Yeah, I don't.
And so, you know, I go to the market and I grab myself a fresh ginger beer that's made right there. Or so there's lots of options. Yeah.
Very,
I
For the
see.
non-
very good.
I thought
Well,
I saw Laura Ross on. Did she
Oh
jump
yeah,
off?
she wanted to come. She texted me and said she had to jump off, but
Oh, okay.
Laura Ross is interested. You remember Laura, Vanessa?
I love Laura.
Yeah, we love
Mhm.
Tell
Laura.
Lucy to come too. She'll be fun.
I know. Well, I'll tell you. But Lucy is going to New York with me this weekend. But
Oh, fun. I
but
love her.
she's like one of the. So Donna, you might not know this. Have you traveled? Donna, you have not traveled with us yet.
Not
have
yet.
you? Okay, but we have
Oh,
some
just
people
you
who go on almost every trip, and Lucy Frost is one, so she's already signed up for. But what you'll see is it's not just the place that you're going or the food you're eating or the wine you're drinking. It's the community of women, and I can tell from you when you said I'll drink anything. Just open-minded, open for fun and adventure. That's the kind of
Open-minded.
women we like, and that's the women we attract. And that makes for almost a self-selected group of like, okay, we're fun, we're excited about doing things, we're open-minded. So that is a good formula for a great group. So
So from an
I-
age standpoint, Deborah and I love to do everything that we're going to take you to do.
Yeah.
And so it's
Or
not like we're taking you to
we
do
didn't know
things
what
that
to leave off.
20-year-olds love. Yeah. We haven't
It's-
included a nightclub, but we might be able to take it around the corner from the hotel we're staying in.
We've got
there's
a dance. We've
a
got
little
dance.
bar called Dizzy's, and let me
Yeah,
tell you, it's
be
a real
fun.
little it's a pub. Anyway, I was there last month and the music was fabulous. People were dancing and it was all our age too. So there you go.
Well, dancing is a big part for me for any trip. So
Oh yeah,
I
baby. We
already
are.
told Deborah, we've got the dancing going on.
I love
so.
the dancing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Vanessa and Deborah, especially Deborah. I think I can't remember what time it is. It's later in the evening.
Yeah, the sun set about 20 minutes before the light faded just before we got on. It's going on 8 o'clock here in the evening.
Okay, so it's 6 hours ahead. Why did I think it was like 10 hours ahead? But
Yeah.
it's so exotic. Anyway, thanks everyone, and I hope to meet you and travel with you to this beautiful, the tip of the earth, really, the end of the earth in many ways,
The
right?
Mother City. It's called the Mother City. It's the Mother City of Africa.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
when you arrive at the airport, you walk out and it says, "Welcome to the Mother City." And that's us women. There we go.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful. Thanks to all of you.
guys.
Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.